Hello and welcome to Courage to Overcome podcast. Today I want to talk about narcissistic behaviours or tactics you can use to your advantage, and also behaviours I learned not to practice. Now, narcissists are notorious for their toxic behaviour towards people. Their behaviour affects the lives of loved ones, sometimes causing devastating effects to their mental health. However, there are some narcissistic behaviours that can be used to your advantage. Now, don't get me wrong, these behaviours are not in any way intended to hurt or harm another person, which narcissists do, but is intended to avoid uncomfortable or awkward situations. So, the narcissistic technique or tactic is, the first one is deflection. One can use this behaviour or tactic to avoid difficult situations and questions. The art of deflection is to change the topic of discussion to something else. Narcissists use this a lot to avoid accountability and responsibility. I've used this tactic a number of times when trying to avoid answering uncomfortable and personal questions. Let me give an example. For example, when you're in church sometimes and one of the aunties, they spot you and you can just see them making a beeline towards you. And then they ask you, how they do, about your children, and then make some remarks about them getting older and when are they getting married, and they've been going out with this guy for how long now? When are they going to tie the knot? Your daughter was wearing a nice outfit, but it's a bit too skimpy for church, don't you think? These aunties, I love them so much, but sometimes they ask these questions without thinking that it's too personal, or that they may come across as busybodies in the way. These aunties in church, they're so persistent and they want to know all of your business. They just don't care because, they're getting older. Who are they trying to impress? So, no one. So, bless them. I love them so much. But, you can use deflection to escape these awkward situations. For example, when they're asking you all these questions all at once, they always seem to come at you all at once. You could say, something like, how these children are, they just don't listen. And then you could kind of like remark on what they're wearing or their hairstyle. I love that dress. Where did you get it from? Or their hairstyle. I mean, it's such a lovely hairstyle. Where did you have it done? They love it so much when you compliment them. Everyone does. So you can keep them occupied with answering your questions, or you can kind of like deflect it and turn it around to ask about their own kids. Oh, I haven't seen Deborah in ages. How is she? And how is Tom? It was nice speaking to you, Auntie. I'll see you again. Just pick a topic or question, or questions about them or their family, and before you know it, they're consumed with talking about their own family. So the good thing is you should try to aim to be as sincere as possible. Find something about them that you want to compliment, and complimenting people is good. I mean, everybody loves compliments and it's acceptable behavior. People may say, you're not behaving like a narcissist if you use these behaviors. I don't think so. Most of the behaviors of the narcissist is intended to hurt or to be devious or to harm or to avoid responsibility or accountability. You are just using wisdom to avoid uncomfortable, personal and unnecessary situations about private matters without being rude. You're trying to get out of a tricky situation that you don't want to be in. The next tactic is triangulation. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic the narcissist uses to create drama or conflict involving three people. He normally uses it to pit one person against another. He does this by taking advantage of their insecurities and inciting jealousy between them. The ultimate goal of the narcissist is to create conflict between two people to control and gain attention and supply. They take pleasure at people's hurt feelings, and it makes them feel powerful that they're able to play with people's emotions. In this instance, how you can use triangulation is to subvert the narcissist's actions by bringing in a third party to corroborate the narcissist's claims. So if someone says to you, for example, if someone says to you, you went to a party with the narcissist, and he was upset for some reason, and then he says to you, "Oh, everyone agrees you were so embarrassing at the party last night." You could just say, "Really? That's concerning. Okay, let me call Tom." Tom was at the party, so you say, "Let me call Tom and speak to him about that and see what he has to say about it." And then they'll be very nervous and will probably discontinue the conversation. So you're bringing in another person. So that's 3 people, triangulation, to reveal if what he is saying is the truth. So if you listen to my last 2 episodes about how to avoid manipulation, I talk about it in more detail. So while narcissists use triangulation for devious means, you're using it to protect and avoid manipulation. One other thing I want to add also is another behavior that I learned not to do was unforgiveness. When I was in a relationship with a narcissist, forgiving him in particular was really hard for me, because I just couldn't understand why someone would treat the person they live with and they claim that they love in such a disrespectful and disgusting way. I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. I would look back at what I think could have triggered him to behave in such a way towards me. Was there something I did or said that caused him to act that way towards me? And all the time there was just nothing I could recall that would have triggered him to do that. It was just normal behavior for him. It was later on I realized, when I found out about narcissism, that they are not normal. Just about everything they do is to make you feel bad, to get a reaction from you so that they can get a high, just like a drug addict. They are addicted to your pain. After I left the relationship, I found that whenever I'm upset with someone, I don't hold on to it as I used to with the narcissist, because, especially with loved ones, because I know whatever they did was not from a place of intent or maliciousness. It wasn't intentional to hurt me or harm me in any way. It was just a misunderstanding or just an unintended failure to consider someone's feelings. It was never deliberate, or it wasn't deliberate to hurt. So I felt, as I didn't hold on to the hurt, I just let it go. So I learned how to just forgive. And it was just so freeing for me that I could just let things go, which was not what used to happen when I was in a relationship with a narcissist. With people who are not family, I'm able to let go because they don't mean anything to me personally, and I refuse to have anyone have that power over me to cause me to be upset. They don't know me, I don't know them. It's not worth my time or energy to be upset. Another thing that I learned also was to stand up for myself and not let anyone walk all over me or try to take advantage of me. I don't know if it's because I get triggered when I feel like I'm being manipulated, because it feels like how I would feel when I was in a narcissistic relationship. I'm now more vocal about what I would accept and what I won't, which I wasn't previously. I make sure I set healthy boundaries with people. In the past, I would do things I didn't want to do just to please people, but I don't do that anymore. For example, if someone asks for my phone number, I would give it, even though I didn't really want to give them my number. But now I just tell them I don't really give my number out like that. It may make the other person uncomfortable, but if I don't want to give my number, I'm not going to, period. I'm much more bolder, and believe, more courageous now. Such power. I think you become a stronger person mentally after a narcissistic relationship. You just don't give a damn, especially if you've really, really healed from that relationship. Not today, Satan, or any other day for that matter. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and share if you can. And I'll meet with you in the next episode. God bless. Bye.